So guys, welcome to the channel. I have here Sandris Sedis with me, all the way from Latvia. Thank you so much for joining us. So me and you have been we're working together for what, the last 6 months or so?
I don't know, maybe it's been even longer. But yeah, getting close to a year, I think maybe. Have to check.
Yeah. Do a lot of people not think that coaching is, good for them? Like, why do people not have coaches these days?
Well, I'm not sure actually, but I mean everyone should if you wanna make it to like a good level and if you wanna have a good training structure, I think everyone should have a coach. Also
Yeah.
like even coaches need coaches, so uh and also you can only see so much like from your perspective, like what you're doing, but it's always good to have someone from the side, like looking at you, like and maybe they see something different and can give a good advice. Like also sparred with Ray not too long ago, like a couple of weeks ago, and he was trying to work on something, and I said like what if you try to like not just go sideways but more with the rotation, and he was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, there's many things that you don't notice yourself, so it's always good to have somebody that can spot you. But I understand that most people probably don't take it serious. So especially in such a niche sport as arm wrestling, maybe people don't think it's worth it or whatever.
Yeah, it's not worth the elbow pain probably.
Yeah, I mean that's also a thing. Injury prevention. So with a good structure, you can really save your elbows and a lot of pain probably than doing yourself.
So speaking of elbow pain, I have some questions for you. So I've been watching some videos on side pressure, and then all the videos are different, right? Different sort of movements. And I even saw a video of a guy saying that Giannis is wrong, these other ones are right. I don't know. This guy doesn't have any results anyway at all, so I don't know what he has to say. But so I'm gonna share my screen, and you tell me what this is. All right. So can you see my screen?
Not right now.
Okay. How about
Okay,
that?
now it's something is happening.
All right. So we
Yes.
have. Do you see
Yeah, now
Giannis
I can.
here?
Yeah, now I can see.
Okay. So this is how Giannis does it, right?
Yeah. Well, this is like pretty much classic exercise, yeah.
Yeah, this is what you have me doing a lot. I really like this one, and it doesn't hurt my elbow that much. So when you take a look at this, then we compare it to maybe like a Todd Hutchings example, where it's
Yeah.
just this side. I mean, what do you think about the difference between these two?
Both great variations. I mean, we've been doing these a lot, on and off all the time. So, the thing is when the cable is coming from the top, it's more of a like a classic top roller kind of side pressure where you have a lot of pressure on your fingers and on your hand. So as your opponent would be trying to use his back pressure, against you and hitting your fingers. So that's a lot of pressure on the hand here, and this will definitely be harder to do than just from the side. And depending on the handle as well, with wrist range, it's much harder. With the rotating handle, it's easier. But both great variations. Just this is how Yanis usually pulls with a lot of back pressure, with a lot of hand control. So this really works for him. And the other one from the side, a little bit different vector, cable coming 90 degrees in relation to the forearm. Uh, Also good variation, but this one hits more like your center control, not so much fingers and hand, because the wrist range is basically just sideways, so it's not really opening up your fingers. But this is more for a like a center control, like raw side pressure power. And the other one is more of a hand control type lift, I would
And,
say.
And as far as this variation, what do you think the difference is between the top cable height or the middle cable?
Yeah, anything from the top always will be harder because there's more pressure coming on your wrist. So if you're pulling something just from the front, it will be easier than, you know, from up top. And also from side, it will put less pressure on the wrist, more pressure maybe on the shoulder, your inner rotators, your pec. So that will also be a little bit easier to do.
So speaking of side pressure, I mean, we all have elbow pain. I know in my part of the United States, Arizona, we have a lot of new guys, and the chief complaint is my elbow always hurts. And
Yeah.
after 4.5 years, my elbow still hurts. I'm sure your elbow is always hurting as well. Is that just a necessary part of the game? I mean, what is it?
Well, to some extent, I would say so, yeah. But um, well, there's a good joke that arm wrestling hurts for first 10 years. After
Mhm.
that, you just get used to it. And uh, but what usually happens is a lot of young guys, uh, their tendons are just not used to those kind of loads and tension. Maybe muscle is strong, but tendon gets takes a lot more time to develop and strengthen. So uh, usually the pain that's where it's coming from usually, and also uh, in practices usually everyone tries to go like 110%.
Oh, even
And
even in Latvia they do that?
well, we sometimes but eventually we like I always try to hold people. But when I'm pulling like Vlad or somebody strong, obviously for first couple pulls you wanna test their strength a little bit, so you'll
Mhm.
go a little bit harder. But yeah, we just try to work, um, just hold positions, different styles, different vectors and different positions. But yeah, the pain I would say just comes from just repetitive motion, overwork, and it's really easy to overwork like the usually it's the medial epicondyle where it's hurting because all of the finger flexors, the pronator connects there. So it's really easy to overwork these muscles. So and what a lot of people forget is to work the opposite side, like extension, and also work flexion, but in eccentric motion to what's the word to lengthen the muscle, basically improve range of motion. So in arm thing, you have to think of how you train and how you can recover from training, basically. But yeah, just improper training, improper load management, stress, overwork, lack of sleep, all of these factors can influence your elbows. But I would say uh, first couple years they hurt more, but after that um, they should start like hurting less, or like you shouldn't notice it as much.
Yeah, I feel like in the beginning the elbows hurt just from not being strong enough, right? So then you get it strong enough, but then your loads get heavier and heavier because your opponents get stronger and stronger. So it's kind of like just a repeating cycle.
Yeah, of course. Firstly, when you're just starting out, you're just not used to that, and like you think everything hurts. But after some time, I don't know, year and a half, if you work correctly, do a lot of volume, don't focus on some crazy one RM lifts or something, then you should strengthen your inner elbow, like overall structure, pretty well. And if you do it smartly, and then should get better. But yeah, as you say, uh, like when you rise in level, you also like rise in pain levels as well, probably. So
Yeah.
it's just
And
repeating. It's just repetitive cycle in arm sling. Some days feel great. Some days like, oh shit, like my wrist hurts, my elbow hurts, and then next day you wake up, oh, nothing hurts. So it's kind of weird sometimes.
And how long have you been arm wrestling so far?
This will be my 11th year, I think,
11th year. And
or or 12.
how do you stay motivated? Or I guess, I mean, I'm sure you're very disciplined, but how do you stay motivated to, be at that level and stay at that level over 12 years now?
Yeah, well, at first it was very easy. Like I just wanted to win novice, then amateur, then get in top five in pro class. Just small steps in the beginning, and after that, wanted to test myself like with the world level arm wrestlers, like going to WAF, Europeans, to Zloty Tour, and I think first time I finished 10th place at Worlds, and I just it was a test for my level, my ability, because I knew I was strong before, but I didn't really know uh, to what extent. I think I was 24 at the time, and yeah, then I came home. Yeah, I can like be in the middle of the pack right now. Maybe if I'm lucky, get top eight, top six. But I'm not so far off strength wise. It's just experience that I need. So just kept working, kept going to same tournaments every year, and kept improving until I got my first podium in 2019, I think, in Europeans. And after that as well, you got a motivation boost like top three in Europe, and then you get a podium at WAF, and then just everything starts to click and come together. But right now, I would say it's a little bit harder to find motivation, maybe because there has been some injuries. Um, there's the level is getting really high, and like to keep up with all the guys, you really need to uh, be disciplined and like maybe not to go to some extra party or something. Just stay home and go to sleep. Sometimes that's sometimes that can be annoying and hard to do, but if you want to be at a high level, that's what you have to do.
Yeah, for sure. And how many days a week do you arm wrestle right now, even light, heavy, or medium?
Uh, Weight training from 3 to 5 times a week. Usually like 3 days more specific, and like maybe couple days like some overall stuff, maybe for some shoulders, some rehab stuff as well. I also try to do cardio at least once a week, an hour at least. And right now, as I'm cutting weight already as well, that helps. But sparring just once a week, maybe sometimes even like once every 2 weeks. But now I try to spar more because I feel like maybe lately I have neglected my table time a little bit. So maybe I have lost some connections that I had before, and obviously injuries didn't help. But yeah, I've been focusing more on the weight training last year or something. But you really need the table as well, so I would advise once a week at least practice.
And when you're the stronger guy at practice and you're holding people, how can you find benefit from being the stronger one, right? Is it you're putting yourself in bad positions, or how do you like to do it?
Yeah, usually I you know let the guys work, try to uh, hold in angles that they feel comfortable in, and yeah, maybe you're holding like maybe closer to the pin pad in some bad position, but which can also be have a negative effect on your arm wrestling. Because if you're always holding people, like it's gonna make you like a little bit slower maybe on the table in the match, and also like you will want to like hold on to your opponent more, if that makes sense. Um, so that's not the good part, but we also use like a lot of rubber bands, belts. Like sometimes people hold me with two arms, you know. Then I try to hit and work on my attack and speed and everything. So yeah, usually that's how we do it.
Do you guys utilize ready goes during practice or maybe leading up to a competition?
Sometimes, but not too much. Because practice, obviously, you can do that, but in practice, it's a lot of it's a lot different, the environment and everything, you know. And I can never like focus in practice to have a like a ready go. I just don't like it, and like I don't feel comfortable doing it. But uh, we usually work on that on our own. Like either you record yourself like ready go, saying ready go in different intervals, and then I don't know, at home doing something, just try to like react, like connect everything on that ready go while listening to your commands. And also, yeah, a lot of rubber bands, uh, starts, different positions, you know, work on that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, usually people at practice don't want to do ready goes.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't done it much, like maybe couple ready goes, and then I'm like, I mean, no. I mean,
Well,
I
like let's
can't.
say, so Sandris, let's say you're maybe 3 or 4 years in, not 12 years. Would you
Yeah.
do it differently?
Uh, probably not. Maybe change couple small things, but we've been training pretty solid and had a good method was the word methodology, you know. And I mean, if I would have done something different, would I be stronger now? Maybe, you know, but I mean, I've done a lot and done enough, I think. So can't really complain about how it turned out.
Yeah. Maybe the chance of injury would have been higher if you did something different.
Well, if I would do like if I didn't have a good guidance in the beginning, definitely would have be more susceptible to injuries. But I don't know, maybe more variation in training programs in the beginning would help. Like we were training, maybe I don't know, same plan for like few months, maybe, but maybe changing it up every month and something like that, you know, would help more. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I remember one of the first things you said to me was, yeah, you have to change it up.
Yeah, you have to, because eventually your body gets used to it, and then it gets, you know, harder to progress. And many people get like focused on weights, like,
Mhm.
oh, I want to lift this much in this exercise and this much in this exercise, but uh, have to understand that we have to get better on a table. So it's not about lifting weights sometimes, you know. Some guys lift very little, but they are very like a rock wall on table or on table. So uh it depends, you know, have to train smart.
Yeah, absolutely. So I competed recently at the East vs. West tournament. It was the day before the actual event, which was phenomenal to go to and watch. So I took some videos of some of my pulls. If you can give me some critique, maybe. Okay, so I competed left and right, 105 kilos.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tim is a guy I frequently struggle with. I feel like his hand is just a lot stronger than mine, and maybe I can't feel
Yeah.
strong here. So what do you suggest here?
Yeah, I think you was maybe focusing on back pressure too much, you know, and while doing that, sometimes you can like lose your ability to go sideways or like resist side pressure movement. But here, Tim had, yeah, he was all over your pronator, I would say, and you couldn't really put pressure on his fingers. So in this scenario, maybe I would advise to uh, go more sideways, maybe.
Okay.
But it depends on the strand gap as well. But I wouldn't. I don't think like you are like lacking in strength or anything against him. But yeah, too much focus on just back pressure, I would say. Have to
Okay.
go, have to tense up that center.
Hence up the center. Okay. Makes sense.
But your position on table is good, like everything's connected. Elbow off to the front, like as high as you can get. Well,
Yeah,
well,
I've been doing a lot better with staying tight, that's for sure.
yeah. Well, these top rolls look very smooth, but you can see that your angle is kind of like opening up all the time. I
Yeah.
think we somewhere in the beginning, I think we talked about this as well. Like uh, your angle was kind of loose sometimes, and like you may be going sideways, you lost the connection.
Yeah.
So have to definitely tighten up that back pressure and work on that more.
So do you recommend that I do more of this where I get on my tippy toes and I get really close to my arm? Will that help the situation?
Well, that's more of a classic, like a press. If you're gonna go in a press position to do for top roll, usually you want to be a little bit lower to be able to engage the back pusher more. But if you're pulling guys with a lot of side pressure, maybe this movement and position would be better. Maybe against Timmy, you should try something like this, where you stand a little bit higher and maybe try to get on top of his pronator, because here, he ate you up pretty well, and you couldn't really do anything about the height as well. So maybe higher position and try to meet Tim in the center.
Yeah, I feel like I can take his wrist, but he's just so well connected. I mean,
Yeah,
the guys have been
his
pulling for like 15, 20 years.
yeah, yeah, yeah. His hand and fingers seem pretty strong, and yeah, your back pressure connection at the moment is not efficient enough, or I wouldn't say it's not strong enough, but like you can't find the right connection to go through that at the moment.
Yeah. So with this guy here, I went a little bit early on purpose just to see kind of what he would do. Do you like that strategy? Like when you're kind of unsure of where the strengths are?
Yeah, definitely. Even when you are sure, you always want to go a little bit early, like not false start, but you can start going when the referee finishes saying ready, and like just start saying go. So on a G, you can already like start the movement. So if you're waiting for the ref to finish saying go, then sometimes you can already be loser. So
Yeah, it's already too
because
late.
it happens too fast. And yeah, you always want to be tricky in the start, in the setup, and with the starting and ready goes as well. I always try to start a little bit before they go, so ref can't like catch it as a false start.
So over here with this guy, this is me attempting a hook. I'm not much of a hook puller, I'm more of a top puller,
Yeah.
but I feel like I didn't really hit it all that well. I just kind of contained him from the bottom three fingers. But am I set up properly right now for a hook?
Can you wind it back a little bit?
Yeah.
So you try to go top roll at first.
I tried to go top roller first for the false start, and then I wanted to go hook.
Yeah, with the
So I
top
used my
roll,
bottom three fingers.
with the top roll, your angle opened up again, and this position is good for the hook. You usually want to get your elbow as deep as you can get behind your chest
Okay.
here, and then leave a little gap right here under your pinky finger, between the
Hmm.
between his wrist and your pinky finger. Leave a little gap there, and then like kind of a jump in there. So you went good with the side pusher, but you didn't do anything with your hand really. You just kind of contained, and you like went backwards still on your back pusher. What you should have done is supinate as deep as you can and flex the wrist at the same time, and go not here sideways, but like diagonally to the
Diagonally.
pad.
Okay.
Not straight backwards, but like diagonally, and try to get him like under your body, like here. It's a
And
lot of
how,
inner rotation and shoulder commitment inside. So if you can wind it up, you can see that your shoulder goes backwards. So you
one thing
kind of
one thing I have a hard time doing is hitting the hook and getting into that position. Do you
yeah,
recommend
you
going sideways or going forward?
never go forward. It's always sideways and backwards, basically.
Sideways
So
and backwards.
to get in the hook, you press down the center, you go with a supination, flexion, and sideways, and then you pull back.
Then I pull straight here diagonally.
Well, here you started like pulling like top roll, like just back with the wrist containment, but you weren't supinating or flexing your wrist or really committing to the side pusher, because you have to really press down the center if you wanna go in a hook, and especially against a top roller.
So are you
Because you
pressing, are you applying pressure to the side in the setup or are you trying
yeah
to go
yeah
down?
yeah you apply the pressure, so you kind of you're kind of testing him,
Ah,
in the
okay.
center, and like, and you wanna commit the shoulder as well, so you go sideways and shoulder goes forward, not backwards like you did.
Okay.
You open up your back, your angle, and the shoulder went back, so you stayed kind of like this, still kind of a between hook and top roll, I would say. But if you want to commit to the hook, you have to commit with that shoulder, and just go inside, and whatever happens happens. If it breaks,
Yeah.
it breaks.
So my shoulder needs to be like right here.
Yeah, where the guy's beard is, basically.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the wrist held here, so that was good. And in the end, you still went top roll. So yeah,
So this guy here was probably one of the stronger guys I faced during this tournament. He's from Turkey and he's a hook guy.
yeah.
So I don't know, didn't really know what to do with him. I think I set up maybe to the too low.
Well, first time you did well open up his fingers. Did they give you a fall here?
No, I guess I got an elbow foul.
Yeah, I think you got an elbow fall. The first start was good.
So I think I'm just too low here. What do you think?
Um, were you trying to go like low hand?
I don't know, honestly, what the hell I was trying to do. I
Yeah,
think I was just going sideways.
would be cool to see from the other side, but here you kind of went in between top roll and hook, I would say. So you kind of it fell into his hand. So probably like he or maybe repositioned himself slightly, so he was already waiting for the top roll coming. Maybe first time you surprised him a little bit, but well, it's hard to say from this side, but seems like you didn't really go low hand. So maybe against hookers, you want to kind of drop your wrist a little bit, so it's harder to turn you in here.
Yeah.
So if you're standing like this, it's really hard to go into this gap. So here, all the pressure here with a lot of back pressure and wrist flexion and knuckles high. Yeah, your knuckles were a little bit low, I would say. So you want to have your wrist low, but your knuckles as high as you can still.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So in this pull right here, I tried to do strap, seeing how that would work out. Almost got him, but my finishing power is not good enough. So do a professional elbow foul here.
Yeah, that's good. That's always good. Yeah,
So
again, looks like you weren't really contesting him in the center. You just focused on going backwards mostly. And if you can put it on a starting position.
yeah, I'm loosey-goosey here at the start.
Yeah, your wrist is your knuckles is high and your wrist isn't in a low hand position. So that would be something to change a little bit because if you put the wrist in low hand a little bit, it puts way more pressure on his pinky finger and denies the supination movement. So against if you know the guy's going in a hook, just try to lower the hand a little bit and focus on pulling through this part of the wrist.
So should I, if I know the guy's a hooker, should I start in that position with the kind of dumped, or should I go
Yeah, yeah,
high
yeah,
then
yeah.
go low?
No, you always start in a low hand,
Oh, okay.
and you go not just with back pusher because then you can get turned in onto your biceps. You have to go like diagonally with a lot of side as well. So always contest these hookers in the center. So you want to push down the center, so uh, they can't explode to the side so much.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I would say strength wise, you're right there. Just some adjustments to be made,
Sounds
like depending on a style of opponent, and some small things like put the pressure on the center, put the pressure on the fingers, maybe and yeah, have to tighten up that angle as well.
okay. That makes a lot of sense. Hey man, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, it
So
was fun.
yeah, it's good to analyze your matches. I mean, I don't really have a lot of people here that I can reach out to that. Um, so as far as your coaching goes, like I highly recommend it. It's very affordable. You can ask Sandris questions all you want. And where can people reach out to you for the coaching?
Usually on my Instagram, just shoot a DM, or you can also write to my email, the the.latvian.wonder@gmail.com, and yeah, we can work with people of all levels and have a few national and like intercontinental medalists and champions. So guys are doing pretty good, and always happy to help with the advice.
It's good. I like that you're used to all the different levels and not just the highest level.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't matter, doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right, Sandris. Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a pleasure talking to you, man.
All right. See you next time.
See you.